Hey Bougie click. Some people are weaponizing ugly for clout and I'm exposing the whole game. While you're leveling up your looks, they're collecting sympathy likes and victim points, turning ugly into social currency. Oxford research proves they're flipping the script, suddenly beautiful equals villain while below average gets sainthood status. They're not struggling, they're strategizing, mining your empathy for followers, friends, and favors. Click that like because I'm about to expose how this victim Olympics works, and trust me, you'll never fall for another woe is me, I'm not pretty post again. Let's get into it.
I'ma make you a fan.
Ugly privilege exposed, cashing in on aesthetic struggles. Let's address the elephant in the room that nobody wants to acknowledge. Some people have discovered that claiming aesthetic oppression is more profitable than pursuing self-improvement. While lookism is real and documented, there's an underground economy of victimhood where perceived unattractiveness becomes a strategic asset. Research from Oxford's Andrew Mason confirms that appearance discrimination exists. Attractive people receive measurable advantages in employment, relationships, and even criminal sentencing. But here's what the research also reveals: some individuals have learned to weaponize their perceived disadvantage for social gain. The ugly fishing industrial complex, when I'm so ugly is just bait. The newest grift in the attention economy? Strategic self-deprecation for sympathy likes. Social media researchers have identified compliment phishing, posting negative self-assessments specifically to trigger validating responses. But here's the twist: they don't want solutions, they want sympathy. The performance pattern. The script is predictable. Post unflattering photo with "I'm so ugly" caption. Receive flood of "know you're beautiful" comments. Someone suggests skincare routine or gym. Rage response: I was being vulnerable. Block anyone who offered practical advice. Post about toxic positivity and fake friends. Psychology research on rejection of solutions reveals the game: they're not seeking improvement, they're harvesting validation. Actual advice threatens their victim narrative. The sympathy mining operation. Studies on social media behavior show these posts generate 5x more engagement than regular selfies. 300% more comments, all reassuring. Increased follower count from supporters. DMs from men thinking they're approachable. Screenshot content for "people are so mean" posts. It's not insecurity, it's strategy. They've discovered that performed ugliness generates more social capital than documented beauty. The solution rage phenomenon. Here's where it gets spicy. When well-meaning people suggest, try this skincare routine. Not everyone can afford that. The gym helped my confidence. Fatphobic much? This hairstyle would suit you. I don't exist to please others. Confidence is attractive. Toxic positivity is violence. Research confirms that people committed to victim identity show active resistance to solutions that would eliminate their victim status. They don't want to look better, they want to look oppressed. The validation vampire economy. The numbers don't lie. Ugly posts get 400% more supportive comments. No makeup selfies, with filter, trigger protection responses. Worst day ever appearance posts become support groups. Strategic crying selfies generate maximum engagement. They're not sharing vulnerability, they're manufacturing it. The currency isn't beauty, it's performed suffering. The block brigade. The most telling sign? They block anyone who takes them at their word. Believe they're ugly and suggest improvements equals blocked. Compliment genuinely equals stop lying. Share your own glow up equals triggering. Offer resources equals privileged. It's a rigged game where the only winning move is endless, empty validation. The secondary gains of aesthetic suffering. Psychology research on secondary gains exposes an uncomfortable truth: maintaining a victim identity provides hidden benefits. Dr. Ariel Schwartz's work reveals that people unconsciously preserve their suffering because it serves them, providing attention, avoiding responsibility, or securing resources. When applied to appearance, the formula becomes clear. Primary gain, protection for rejection: they only didn't hire me because of lookism. Secondary gain, social sympathy, lowered expectations, moral high ground. Tertiary gain, immunity from criticism: attacking a victim makes you the villain. Research shows that secondary gains are unconscious benefits driving the resistance to change. Translation? Some people invest more in their victim story than their glow-up because the payoff is guaranteed. The beautiful is bad inversion. While the beautiful is good stereotype is well documented, attractive people are perceived as more intelligent, competent, and moral, there's a strategic counternarrative emerging. The beautiful is bad inversion positions attractive people as shallow and vapid. Morally inferior, pretty privilege equals unearned advantage. Legitimate targets for harassment. Deserving of social punishment. Psychology research from the University of Melbourne found that physical attractiveness particularly influences moral character judgments. But here's the twist: claiming aesthetic victimhood allows people to flip the script, positioning themselves as morally superior specifically because of their perceived disadvantage. The pity premium economy. The numbers don't lie. While attractive defendants receive lighter sentences, those who successfully position themselves as appearance victims receive workplace accommodations, lower performance standards justified by discrimination. Social capital, sympathy followers, supportive communities, viral victim stories. Financial benefits, GoFundMe campaigns, discrimination lawsuits, speaking opportunities. Relationship leverage, partners who stay out of guilt rather than desire. Criticism immunity, any feedback becomes bullying or lookism. Research on victim mentality reveals that people who consistently perceive themselves as victims often derive positive internal motivations from their status. It becomes their identity, their community, their brand. The weaponization playbook. Here's how aesthetic victimhood gets strategically deployed. Preemptive strikes. I know you won't pick me because I'm not conventionally attractive. Retroactive reframing. Every rejection becomes appearance discrimination. Social media campaigns, viral posts about pretty privilege targeting specific individuals. Moral positioning. Real activists support all bodies, while attacking beautiful women. Gaslighting gorgeous, making attractive people feel guilty for existing. The psychology is brilliant: by claiming victim status, they transform their envy into righteousness. Their attacks on beautiful people become social justice. When lookism becomes a lucrative lie. Yes, appearance discrimination exists. Studies confirm that society penalizes those who deviate from beauty norms. But here's what nobody discusses: the strategic exaggeration of this discrimination for personal gain. Research on factitious symptoms in psychology reveals that while true malingering is rare, exaggerating legitimate suffering for recognition is common. Applied to appearance. Minor social awkwardness becomes severe lookism trauma. Normal dating challenges become systematic romantic oppression. Standard workplace competition becomes pretty privilege discrimination. Personal grooming choices become society forcing beauty standards. The result? A victimhood narrative so inflated it bears little resemblance to reality. The pretty privilege persecution complex. Labor and employment law insights confirm that pretty privilege provides real advantages. Over 20 years of research show unconscious preferences for attractive people. But the backlash has created a new phenomenon: the persecution of pretty. Beautiful women especially face accusations of using looks for advancement, even when overqualified. Social media harassment campaigns. Assumptions of low intelligence or moral character. Guilt tripping for self-care and appearance investment. Demands to apologize for their genetics. The irony? Those claiming to fight appearance discrimination often become the worst perpetrators, just targeting different victims. The comfort of comparative suffering. The benefits of suffering and the costs of well-being. Research reveals a disturbing truth. Some people find suffering more comfortable than success. Why? Because suffering requires no accountability. Victimhood provides community and identity. Failure can always be blamed on discrimination. Success would mean losing their primary social currency. When your entire identity revolves around being aesthetically oppressed, becoming attractive threatens your whole worldview. Better to attack those who've done the work than do it yourself. When aesthetic victimhood meets pity privilege. Ugly privilege is pity privilege with a mirror. Both weaponize controllable circumstances for social capital, both target the successful out of jealousy, and both demands lowered standards instead of raised effort. Claiming oppression for your personal choices is the ultimate accountability dodge. Research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people with an external locus of control, those who blame outside forces for their circumstances, are significantly more likely to weaponize victimhood for situations entirely within their power. The grooming grievance game. Research shows that 85% of perceived attractiveness comes from controllable factors: hygiene, grooming, fitness, and style. Yet the ugly privilege playbook mirrors every other pity privilege script. Won't wash hair equals rejecting Eurocentric beauty standards. Refusing skincare equals natural beauty activism. Poor hygiene equals classist expectations. Zero effort equals body neutrality movement. The same people crying lookism are really crying I refuse to tryism. They're not genetically disadvantaged, they're strategically disheveled. I can't help how I look has become the battle cry of those who refuse to try. Meanwhile, research shows that basic grooming and fitness impact perceived attractiveness more than genetic features. A Harvard study found that effort in appearance, hygiene, grooming, posture accounted for more variance in attractiveness ratings than fixed features. Yet somehow, not washing your hair became rejecting beauty standards and basic hygiene became oppression. The weight weaponization. Studies confirm that 95% of weight is influenced by controllable factors: diet, exercise, and lifestyle choices. Yet the pity privilege playbook transforms personal choices into persecution. Eating fast food daily equals food deserts, while driving past grocery stores. Avoiding exercise equals fat phobia in fitness spaces. Refusing nutrition education equals diet culture violence. Health consequences equals medical discrimination. Research on self-handicapping shows people deliberately maintain disadvantages to have built-in excuses for failure. The effort allergy epidemic. Studies on attractiveness show that effort indicators, neat appearance, good posture, appropriate dress, impact ratings more than bone structure. But acknowledging this would destroy their victim narrative. Instead, your skincare routine equals pretty privilege. Your gym membership equals fatphobic beauty standards. Your styled hair equals conforming to the male gaze. Your hygiene equals classist grooming culture. They're not ugly, they're unwilling. And they're furious at anyone who proves effort works. The jealousy genesis. Psychology research confirms that people claiming aesthetic discrimination show the same patterns as other pity privilege practitioners. External locus of control, appearance is genetic lottery. Resistance to solutions, skincare is capitalism. Targeting high achievers, attacking the well-groomed. Competitive victimhood, you'll never understand ugly struggles. The formula remains unchanged: personal choices plus zero accountability plus jealousy of those who chose differently equals victim status. The strategic squalor syndrome. Here's what's really happening: maintaining ugliness provides the same benefits as any other pity privilege. Built-in excuses for romantic rejection. Lowered professional expectations. Moral superiority over the shallow. Community with fellow victims. Ammunition against the attractive. Research on self-handicapping confirms people deliberately maintain disadvantages to preserve their excuses. Can't get dates? Must be lookism, not the intentional neglect of basic grooming. Your beauty routine isn't violence. Your effort isn't oppression. And their strategic slovenliness isn't your social justice cause. They're not fighting beauty standards, they're fighting basic standards. The perks of perceived ugliness, the privilege nobody talks about. Let's expose the underground benefits of aesthetic underachievement, the social advantages that make ugliness oddly profitable in our victim-worshipping culture. The competence assumption. Research from the Journal of Social Psychology reveals the beauty penalty: attractive women are assumed less competent in male-dominated fields. Meanwhile, those claiming aesthetic disadvantage enjoy automatic smart attribution, can't be pretty and intelligent. Zero appearance-based scrutiny at work. Credit for achievements without "she slept her way up" accusations. The serious professional assumption without proving it. The threat-free zone. Studies show attractive people are perceived as more threatening in competitive environments. The strategically unkempt enjoy never being seen as competition. Female friendships without jealousy dynamics. Partners who aren't just with them for looks. Freedom from stealing someone's man accusations. The safe friend designation, access without suspicion. The sympathy surplus. Research confirms the underdog effect: people automatically root for those perceived as disadvantaged. This translates to GoFundMe success rates 3x higher with struggle photos. Viral glow-up potential, bigger transformation story. Automatic brave status for basic activities. Lower bar for romantic gratitude: he loves me for me. Built-in excuse inventory for any failure. The criticism shield. Psychology studies show people hesitate to critique those they pity. The benefits. Feedback framed as bullying. Standards lowered to prevent harm. Mistakes forgiven as they're trying their best. Bad behavior excused as compensation for suffering. Immunity from appearance-based comments. The Authenticity Award. In our fake deep culture, deliberate dishevelment gets rebranded as real and authentic versus trying equals fake. Comfortable with themselves, laziness as confidence. Not superficial, grooming equals shallow. Natural beauty advocate, soap avoidance as activism. Revolutionary, basic hygiene rebellion. The access pass. Here's the dirty secret: perceived ugly people get unique access. Intimate conversations, not seen as threat. Trust with people's partners, desexualized. Career mentorship without ulterior motive assumptions. Emotional dumping ground status, everyone's therapist. Behind-scenes access, invisible enough to be everywhere. The moral high ground. The ultimate privilege, automatic moral superiority. Every struggle is harder for them. Every achievement is more impressive. Every relationship is more genuine. Every opinion on beauty is more valid. Every attack on attractive people is punching up. Research shows these advantages compound, creating an incentive structure that rewards strategic slovenliness over self-improvement. Why invest in appearance when victimhood pays dividends? The truth? They're not disadvantaged, they're differently advantaged. And they know it. Breaking the victim monopoly. The solution isn't denying lookism exists, it's recognizing when it's being weaponized. Real signs include using appearance as an excuse for unrelated failures. Attacking attractive people while claiming to fight discrimination. Refusing any suggestion of self-improvement as victim blaming. Making ugly their entire personality and platform. Demanding special treatment rather than equal treatment. The bottom line. Ugly privilege is real. It's the social capital gained from positioning oneself as an aesthetic victim while attacking those who invest in their appearance. It's the immunity from criticism, the lowered expectations, the moral high ground claimed through comparative suffering. Research confirms that victim mentality detracts from one's sense of personal responsibility. When applied to appearance, it creates a population more invested in documenting their oppression than addressing it. Your beauty isn't violence. Their jealousy isn't justice. And their victim narrative? That's not your cross to bear. The most radical act in a culture of competitive suffering? Refusing to apologize for your glow while also refusing to play the victim when life gets hard. Because true power comes not from monetizing misery, but from taking radical responsibility for your own becoming. Stay beautiful. Stay unapologetic. And remember, their comfort with mediocrity is not your mandatory sentence. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into ugly privilege exposed and the fascinating world of aesthetic struggles and victimhood economics. If you found this video eye-opening and thought-provoking, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content that challenges the status quo. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think aesthetic victimhood is being strategically used, or is it a genuine struggle? Share your opinions in the comments below. Remember, beauty and self-improvement are personal journeys, and embracing your uniqueness is a powerful statement. Let's continue to celebrate authenticity without compromising our integrity. Until next time, stay true to yourself and keep questioning the narratives around us. See you in the next video. What do you think? Is ugly privilege real? Let me know in the comments section. Stay bougie. Follow and support me. All links in bio. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check description for more info. New episodes every day.